Hidden under these clouds is a Rifugio, a lodge tucked into a glacial amphitheater in the sky. This is the Alimonta Rifugio, and you can stay here. But getting here is an adventure that requires a helmet, a harness, and a 1,000-foot drop beneath your feet.
Moving up this terrain is hard. Got ice under the path, and it just likes to slide. One step up, half a step back.
I spent a month in Italy on a quest to find the craziest and most beautiful Rifugio in Italy's mountains. This is the story of what I found. Okay, I'm on a quest to find Italy's coolest place to stay, and I think I'm on track with one incredible place. So it's a little bit like a hotel, but it's also like a climbing lodge. It's up in the Italian Dolomites, and to get there, I have to navigate some of the wildest trails I've ever been on in my whole life. Now, why am I wearing a helmet? Well, it's an integral part of my journey to the hotel tonight. I'm going to be using a system of ladders and cables and a via ferrata to get to this remote and rugged place. It's one of the wildest places I've ever seen, and I can't wait to show you. But wait a second, let's back up. I'm in the Brenta group of the Dolomites. The Dolomites are a fantastically beautiful and otherworldly sub-range of the Alps. These Dolomites have exploded in popularity over the last few years, drawing millions of visitors a year to gaze at these incredibly unique mountains. Elsewhere in the Dolomites, people love to hike the more tranquil trails surrounded by towers. But here, the trails navigate sheer cliffs using a network of via ferratas, iron cables and rungs bolted into the cliffs.
Wow.
I'm on Via delle Bucchette, the central via ferrata route that connects the highest refugios of the Brenta Dolomites through mountain passes and the more vertical world of these cliffs. Of all the via ferrata routes in Italy, this one is as good as it gets. Mountaineers and hikers come from all over the world to test themselves and to play on these cliffs. But the Dolomites, while incredibly beautiful and inviting, are not to be taken lightly.
Finora sono stati segnalati.
Another hiker was found dead, bringing this month's total to 78. There's been a record-setting.
Le squadre di soccorso stanno ancora. Rescue teams are still searching the mountains, but hope is dwindling with each passing hour.
Upon my return home from this trip, I was shocked to learn that this summer was actually the most dangerous year in the last 100 years. During my time in the Dolomites, I was oblivious to the shocking number of deaths and rescues being conducted across the Italian Alps. I took a dive into the official reports, and the answers are a little sobering. The majority of the fatal accidents involve hikers, not climbers and mountaineers, and most of them are simply a result of being unprepared. The Dolomites often appear tranquil, and this can deceive people of the nature of mountains, especially for tourists lured here, who might not know what they're bargaining for when they hike into the higher reaches of the Alps. Despite these serious dangers, for those prepared, these mountains feel more like a playground, a jungle gym for big kids like me.
Should be fine.
Slowly.
If you knock it anyway, knock it backwards into the mountain.
Yeah. Come on, tell us that joke, Kev.
Yeah.
Hello from Ireland.
Well, Mr. Hansen.
Hello.
We love you, Mr. Hansen.
Oh, wow. Oh, thank you. All right, there you guys beer now.
Legendary Mr. Hansen.
Yeah, I think this is among the most dramatic places I've ever been. This is absolutely beautiful, very intimidating, and so wonderful. Yeah, this is one of the coolest stretches of trail also, like, holy moly. So if you've been around on the channel before, you know that I love to talk about Element. Element is the best electrolyte replacement mix that I've ever used. When I'm out in a place like this, I'm working really hard, I'm at elevation. The wind and the elements are sapping my energy, and one of the things that I really love to do is to take Element with me on my travels. Now what Element really helps with is replacing my electrolytes and replacing my salts as I lose them as I'm working hard in an environment like this. So what I definitely notice is that at the end of the day, I'm feeling really fatigued. I've got muscle aches, headaches and cramps and a headache at the elevation that I'm at, and taking an element will really help reduce that and make me sleep better and just feel better at the end of the day. So right now, if you want to try Element, just go to the link below at drinkelement.com/Eric Hansen, and Element will throw in a free sample pack with any purchase. Check them out. Thanks to Element for sponsoring this video. And now, back to the goods here in the Italian Dolomites. Man, this route is very interesting. You can see people coming down this other way. Tiniest little patch of blue sky up there. But everything about this is so dramatic, so visually and viscerally intriguing. Never been anywhere like this place.
It's going down like I told you. I'll be the last man standing here.
Okay, I know I've said it a lot, but that was wild. And just came out of this spooky zone, and now I'm about to make it to my Rifugio, my hotel for the night. The hotel that I think is the most gnarly hotel in all of Italy. See it down there? Boop. I don't think you could pick a more epic location than that one. That is amazing. Home for the night. Been a long day. I'm ready to go check in and get some dinner. So I've called it a hotel, and it's a Rifugio, which means it's a refuge for climbers and hikers. It is a place that you can just reserve online, just like a hotel. Far cry from a tent or a little stone hut with nothing in there. They're pretty nice. I can smell dinner, and I'm ready. Let's go see what it's all about. It's a lot of hiking boots. Stinks like feet in here.
After a long day in the mountains, it's pretty satisfying to enter a cozy space alive with the bustle of fellow mountaineers, recounting stories of their day over hot food and cold beer.
That's at a Rifugio. Oh, that's the good stuff.
And on the best days, we're all treated to an evening show.
There are some moments that make all the pain of a difficult experience worth it. And I'm up here at the Alimonta Hut. It's an incredible place to be. All of this rainy, wet weather has parted, and the sun is coming out and is just lighting up everything absolutely incredibly. Everywhere I look, every moment, everything's changing. It's one of the most atmospheric, stunning, magical places I've ever been. Wow, this is an incredible evening.
So, how did these places even get here in the first place? Well, many of the refugios were built by alpine clubs in the 1900s. Some were even built for military purposes in World War I, when this was a battleground between Italy and the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And a select few, like Alimonta, were built by single families and have been passed down from generation to generation. The story of the Rifugio Alimonta goes back to Angelo Alimonta in the 1800s. He was the Alimonta family's first mountain guide. He regularly hiked and climbed in these mountains and fell in love with the rock amphitheater Brenta Dolomites. Angelo would bring his son Ernesto, and later his grandson Giulio, to this location and imbued upon them his love for this place. And after a mountaineering trip to climb Cima de Brenta, Giulio and his son Ezio decided they would build a hut here in this amphitheater to serve future climbers. In 1968, Giulio and Alimonta's family successfully constructed the Rifugio, but not without setbacks and heartache. A few years later, the hut was destroyed by an avalanche and had to be rebuilt. Nini Alimonta, Ezio's wife, who spent her time working at the hut, died suddenly of undisclosed causes. Today, Nini's bell remains in her honor. Life in these mountain huts is sweet and charming. There's hot showers, good food, bunk beds to make you feel like a kid again, and otherworldly views.
So when you're getting a room like this, something to think about is earplugs. First night I was in here, 2 snorers, significantly loud, almost comical, but it really made it hard to sleep. Last night, thankfully, no snorers.
Italy's refugios are truly wonderful and make the mountains so much more accessible, easing the burden of carrying food, shelter, and many of the supplies you typically need for the mountains. But if you plan on venturing here, let the last few years of data remind you that even though the Alps and the Dolomites are some of the most beautiful mountains on Earth, they are still rugged, wild, and not to be taken lightly.
Quite something to be out here in a rainstorm and to see all the low-hanging clouds and waterfalls everywhere. Waterfalls pouring off every nook and cranny of these surfaces here. I feel like I'm entering some sort of strange fairy tale landscape. Okay, that's it for me at the Alimonta Hut. This goes down in the memory books for me. I loved it absolutely. Now I've got to head off for one final big day of Via Ferratas. I've got a full day of Via Ferratas ahead and one more Rifugio before my time here in the Italian Dolomites is done. All right, time to get after it. There might be a storm coming in, so let's make some moves.